Talk Reds, Friday the 5th of April. The dream team back again. Once again.
Coming in your ears and all that.
All that gear. Bit of a strange one today because Liverpool are playing on a Friday night and I don't know what to do about it. It all seems very, very, very strange.
It's mad, isn't it? Because I'm like, well, it's sad it's Southampton away. One of the last games got left, but I have fans just to win it. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking, fucking hell, if we drop any points now, I might have to throw myself in the Mersey.
Yeah.
Pressure's getting to me.
No, sound. And it's a whole Friday night thing. Like, if you Friday night at home, you sound. If you Friday night anywhere north of Birmingham, you sound.
I can't wait for Friday night at home to Huddersfield. As long as we don't drop any points between now and then, I think that one is going to be absolutely Anfield at its best. I think it'll be wild, you know.
I mean, every game now seems like the biggest game we've ever played. And tonight, invariably, until we win the league. Well, every game will be until we win the league, will be. It's about Southampton. Joe Gomez has reportedly travelled.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Back after a leg break. Brilliant news for us for the run-in, but I mean, surely you can't just throw him in cold tonight.
You wouldn't have thought so, would you? No, they might be the perfect team to do it against, though, because they only play one up front, don't they? So, and you wouldn't imagine we'd be under that much pressure, but again, you'd be looking at Matip and thinking, if he gets dropped now just because Gomez has come back, I'd be Matip's biggest critic, but he's done okay, so I think it'd be a bit of a mad one. I think tonight you'd say to him, right, Degsy, you stay up here, or you're not even on the bench because he gets absolutely pelters down there, doesn't he? And put Joe Gomez on the bench, bring him back in. You don't make a sub for a centre-half unless it's necessary, but just to get him back on the bench in around the fringes of the first team.
Yeah, because he needs a bit of rhythm, doesn't he? And as you said, Joel Matip's been in great form, he's had his critics, but Gomez will need to get minutes somewhere, because it might come a situation where Matip and Lovren, as they have done, have picked up simultaneous injuries. Said simultaneous like a wall again then, didn't I?
I liked it.
It sounded okay. But then you'd be in a situation where you could be facing Man City and having to throw Gomez in cold. So, I mean, ideally tonight, without
Chelsea.
Yeah, City on the mat.
Lost your head, haven't you, mate?
City on the mat. I'm telling
I wouldn't know what
Read the thing on BBC Sport this morning, my head's gone.
Just on that, I'll get on his blue steel pose, he's pulled on at one of these, honestly. He thinks he's in Gomorrah.
No, you said I look like I was in Gomorrah.
No, I never.
Yes, you
but
did.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yes, you did. So, yeah, I mean, ideally, situations like Liverpool come in, catch Southampton, maybe go 2 or 3 up, hopefully, and then you've got an opportunity to bring him in and give him maybe, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, but even that doesn't... Centre-halves don't feel like they get reintroduced as subs, do they, really? They tend to get a start. Now, the problem is with trying to give him a start in this running is every game, as you said, is the biggest game we've ever played. But it wouldn't surprise me massively if Sunday against Tottenham he thinks, sorry, look, I've lost my head now, against Chelsea he thinks, put him in there next to Van Dijk. Because if he is fit, it was an impact injury, wasn't it?
Even a full-back, though, even if he brings him off at centre with 20 to go, you know, just
yeah, you know what, that's probably more of a realistic option, actually. Because Sen could probably do it a little... Listen, this is all absolutely ideal scenarios here, if it's 2 and 3 goals up. But I'd say, bring him on for the centre is probably a more realistic goal. But again, with him being a centre half, I think he'd be more likely to just drop him back in for the start of the game.
We'll see. On Southampton, 16th in the table, but in good form. Recent good. They beat Spurs, but then in the same run of games they've lost to Manchester United and Arsenal. We can't take anything for granted.
No, definitely not. That Spurs one was a bit of a funny one as well, though, to be fair. Spurs, they're in a... I think that was the start of their bad run of form, wasn't it? For the away games. But I watched the match and they were a better team by a long way, and they could have quite easily got the 3 points there. So Southampton, I think that was the game. It reminded me a little bit of when Klopp turned up for Liverpool, and do you remember we played Tottenham away? Yeah. And they ran their legs off each other, and Adam Lallana come off and basically collapsed into...
Like first day at school, wasn't it?
Well, I think Southampton had a little bit of that. Listen, he's obviously turned around, and he's had a great effect on them because they've got some good players down here as well. But listen, we're going for a league title, so any teams that stands in our way should be treated with the disdain they deserve, and we should absolutely try and blast teams out the park. Yeah,
we've got to go in with no respect for them whatsoever.
But we've got to do that again on Sunday against Chelsea. We've got to do that against that for every game. We've got to think tactically, but we're stronger than them, and I think we've got to go out and just prove that.
Well, on that, I mean, Hasenhüttl was interviewed earlier in the week and said, you know, talking about Liverpool, saying how Liverpool plays a perfect example of a physically strong team combined with technical qualities, good speed and good organisation. You can see why it's so hard to win against them. Only one team's done it, Man City. And then goes on to say they're not frightened.
That's exactly the type of thing I'd say if I was frightened.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It's quite well known. I mean, Hasenhutl's known as the cop of the Alps. But what I didn't know until this morning is that they actually done the coaching badges together.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
To be fair, Hasenhüttl comes across as a really nice fella, and good luck to him. I hope he keeps Southampton up, even though the fans you can take pricks on this one, can't we? Hello, Southampton. But yeah, Hasenhüttl's got himself comes across all right. Klopp's sound.
Yeah, Matt Letizia chasing you on Twitter for it.
I'm a big fat fuck, and I reckon I could outrun Matt Letizia, so I'm not overly worried. I've seen him on Harry's Hero, so I'm not overly worried about that one.
Christ. Okay.
But yeah, Hasenhüttl comes across a nice fella, and he's a good coach. He's done a good job down there. But again, I'm not asked about Southampton. I'm asked about what Liverpool's doing. If Liverpool turn up and we play the game that we know we can play with the players we've got available to us, we should be able to do the job. And if we can't, we don't deserve to win the league. Going
back to Liverpool now, as I said, I mean, we've talked about Gomez. Can you see any changes tonight? Or do you think you'll just stick with? Because the only potential ones maybe bringing Fabinho back in.
I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't bring Fabinho in. I think that I've said it on another show the other day. I've heard it called the Doomsday midfield now. Now listen, it was a great midfield for us, but it feels like it stopped working 12 months ago and we're flogging a dead horse a little bit. I think it was telling on Sunday that Wijnaldum was probably our worst midfielder, and that never happens.
And he's had a great season.
Exactly. So I think what you're looking at is 3 players who do a broadly similar job when they're put into that midfield, but all 3 players, when they're combined with other midfielders, then do a specific job, which I think works. And I think against Southampton, you've got to think, are we really going to be against Tottenham? They have more of the ball than us, is what I'm getting at. So you need to do the press in the middle of the pitch where you're calming their attacks. Whereas I think this game, you're probably looking for a press that's a little bit, 10 yards further forward, 15 yards further forward. So you need a base to work off, which for me is Fabinho, because he's been our best player in midfield since he come in. Then Wijnaldum, because he's been perfect there all season. And I think it's probably going to be a choice between either Adam Lallana or James Milner.
Do you think there's an element as well? I mean, you said the base there. We're in this curious position. It's a great position, but we do need to win. And I found when it went to 1-1 the other day, I saw something that I hadn't saw for this season. We saw it last season where the manager gambled. The manager gambled through caution to the wind. And we all know what happened with the Van Dijk when they broke 3-2 and 1 with Klopp and Sissoko. Son. And maybe that might factor into his team selections tonight against. Do what City have done, where they've come out early against teams they think they can beat, and try to get an early one.
Yeah, I think our game now, it used to be based upon that, but it feels less and less like that with every passing game to me now. It feels like it's more about total control and then eventually just strangling the life out of somebody. I think that's why we scored so many late goals this season. We're going up against teams and sometimes we're miles better than
them. Just run the legs off them to a certain degree as well.
But then most of the time we don't do that, and I think that's why we've probably come into this part of the season with a fully fit squad, because in the past we've run the legs off ourselves, and then you get to this time, look at Tottenham, they've lost, their legs have gone a little bit now, and that's why they've dropped out of the title challenge. So I think ideally get an early goal and you can all relax, but that's just not how football works. If we're 70 minutes in and it's still 0-0, I'll be on the edge of my seat, obviously, but I'll be very much thinking, well, we've done it every other time this season, so I think that's the way Klopp will see it as well. Yeah. We can make substitutions as well, which affect games.
That'll filter into the squad as well. Don't we sitting there looking at 70 gone, we're all right here. Yeah. We're all right here. I always remember a Gary Neville quote from a couple of years ago, and he was saying, like, it'd be 0-0 with 85 to go, and we'd be saying to each other, we've got plenty of time here. Yeah. Plenty of time.
I think there's Liverpool teams half getting towards that. Like, on Sunday, I was up the wall, as everyone else was on the Kop, do you know what I mean? It was a bananas day, and I was screaming for Klopp to bring another midfielder on. My head was going at left, right and centre, but the players don't seem to be doing that, and they still do all the right things, even from little things like the Divock Origi goal is scored from Alisson gets the free kick, but instead of just pumping the free kick forward, he just knocks it 10 yards further forward, so Sen's got a better angle to swing the ball across to the back post. It's these little things where, if you're losing your head properly, you don't think to do that. But these players aren't. This is the 96 minutes of the derby they're doing that. So I think 70 minutes in against anybody, they've got that in the locker, that they know what to do. They know, just keep going and strangle them.
I'm going to wrap up in a minute, but I heard the manager, Jurgen Klopp's been talking again this week, and once again, he was asked about Manchester City. And his comments are curious because I can't quite figure out whether they're loads or not. But once again, he calls them the best team in Europe. He also mentions Barcelona and Juventus, saying they're having good campaigns, but you know, City look the most steady with the quadruple. And then he finishes off by saying, but that doesn't mean they will win all their games. I can imagine that people think that, but it doesn't make it more likely. What games he playing here, lad?
I think he's just, listen, he's saying to other teams there, don't be worrying. He's saying, you need to attack them because they are beatable. Because you don't need teams turning up to Man City and not trying.
But look at the teams that beat them.
Well, even look at the Cardiff game the other day, do you know what I mean? They beat Cardiff when you'd call it a professional 2-0. But if we beat Cardiff 2-0 at home, I'd be thinking a bit, you'd expect a 4 or a 5 against Cardiff because they're absolutely garbage. And Man City only got to 2. Now listen, only because it's all about points at this stage of the season, but still it wasn't as convincing a win as it could have been.
Well, that, I mean, and you look, and they've had a nice gap between the games and they've been playing opposition you'd expect them to beat. And it gets really interesting for City over the next few weeks. Their run of fixtures now, intensity and frequency. You've got Brighton in the Cup, Spurs in the Champions League away, and then they've got Palace away, and then they've got Spurs again in the Champions League, and then Spurs again at home in the league, and then they go straight into Manchester United.
And then Burnley after that away.
Burnley after that.
Listen, if they win all them games, fair play to them, they deserve to win the league. But we only need them to drop.
What I'm saying is they played the last 2 games more or less as training sessions, and now they've got to go.
Exactly, yeah. But if you wanted to pick 2 games to lead into as a sort of pre-season almost, if you will, you'd pick the 2 that they've had and they've won them. So sound fair play, but now is where you've got to get your balls out and say, listen, here's what we've got to do. If they win all them games, you can't do anything about that. But the likelihood of them winning them games, I think it's slim.
So, as we've just written in bold at the bottom of here, all they've got to do is just fucking win. Right, okay, so on Anfield Wrap Business, we've had the weekend out this morning. Preview and team talk are already out for your Southampton build-up. That's incredible output. And we're going to have all your post-match reaction tonight. We're going to have the post-match pint. We're going to have the pink, as usual, from St Mary's as well, which, you know, it'd be absolutely good when we win. Absolutely crackers, Andy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just come with us on that, it's boss. We love the feedback we get as well when we get out early and, you know, you come back in and we want to share that with you. And then over the weekend, this is how hard we work for you. We're going to get this out over the weekend. We're going to get an Anfield wrap out for you, a review and a second look. And that's all the content for the weekend. On top of that, we've announced our end of season show at Mountford Hall. Selling really well. I get in now because it's selling better than what we thought. It's a big venue, but you never know. It's not going to be a normal show. We're going to change it around a bit. We've got live music from the T Street. We're going to have some DJing. I think Gibbo's going to get on the decks as well. Very similar to what they've done in Kiev, just maybe a little bit more polished. But we're confident it will sell out, so get in quick. It's Saturday the 11th of May, the night before Wolves. Set yourselves up. It's at Mountford Hall. Get in there. That's been today's Talk on Red. Nice one.